nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long lost friend, gives every dark street a light at the end. Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Through the rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing gonna stop me now. My life, my dream, nothing gonna stop me now. Nothing gonna stop me now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of the summer 2018 season of Perfect Bloggers. And we are broadcasting live from the beautiful campus of USF St. Petersburg in PRW 108. And welcome, everyone. We know there are at least 5 people watching.
Five people. Five people.
5 human beings.
5 human beings.
Well, you're
And,
watching, and I'm
well.
watching. So there are at least 3 actual human beings tuned in right now, and more perhaps will join us as the hour
Yes,
progresses.
possibly, yes.
And I'm
we
joined today in the
yes, joined by
studio.
someone. Yes, joined by
Joined by multiple people.
multiple
Not
people,
just someone.
actually.
We have
Yes,
the voice.
yes.
We may
What?
see your face. Is that correct?
A
A silhouette. A shadow.
Not at some point,
At some point.
possibly. At some
In
point.
an undisclosed time and place.
Undisclosed time and.
In a
time and
future
location.
Or past, which
So
we
I've got
will
my-
perhaps learn more about.
So now I have.
All right. So
Now there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 computer monitors
6 monitors.
and 4 headphones.
4 headphones.
Four
although
headphones.
one pair of headphones is not plugged in, we learned.
It's not plugged in. No,
So
it
our
is-
special
no.
guest is
Hearing
Yes.
probably
No, who is our special guest? Who is
Well,
this?
we-
So we have a special guest.
special guest. Would you like to introduce
Yes.
yourself?
Now, the special guest. You don't have to get up.
We need to get a stool
you
for
can
our
just-
special guest. This
you can just
configuration
talk.
is not working.
You don't have to get up in the thing, right? Or no?
My name is Jenna Jean.
6 people watching now.
Welcome, Jenna
Welcome.
Jean.
So Jenna Jean,
Just so you know.
Jenna. What are you? You are a student in the class, correct?
Yes, and there's a microphone about
Yes.
a foot
And you
above
don't
my
have
head
to,
right now.
You know, you don't have to. You can just relax and because I got the thing here. I'll just bring it, pump it up a little bit there. Yeah. Okay. So
Back to the course.
back to the course.
Well,
Jenna
welcome
could be.
to the- welcome to the studio.
Jenna's like this not only a student but also quite possibly. Oh, we have someone in the chat. Oh, look at that, Lisa. Lisa, hello, Lisa.
Welcome,
Hello,
Lisa.
Welcome,
This is good.
Lisa.
So we have,
So we have welcome, Lisa. She loved the opening. Love the opening.
well, thank you very
yes,
much.
that was
That
very,
was
very
a,
nice. So, 7 people now. This is exciting.
All right,
This is the
wow.
most we've ever got. This is the most we've ever had.
I feel like we've really
entire-
hit the big time here.
an
This is
entire
what it
show.
feels like to finally make it.
My gosh, because usually I
Wow,
know this is
okay.
exciting. This is exciting.
we're gonna
So,
jump
does
into
anyone know
our
the?
top-
I wonder, Lisa, do you know where it was from? What it's from?
That's a good question. And-
What is it? Does anyone know what it's from? If you know it's from, do you get a prize?
Yes.
If what
I can say
was,
you can get a prize because I got an email from HR today saying that the bookstore has a 50% clearance.
50% clearance.
So I plan to.
8 people watching. This is exciting. What?
We'll get some prizes from the bookstore, yes.
So
if you know, the first person to chime in with what
Yes.
that opening
Yes.
theme was inspired from and connected to
Yes.
the title of this show as well.
Show, yes, and I can see the chats.
Okay.
So
the chats are
where
on
we're-
fire.
Yeah, the chats aren't. Well, so far Lisa is chimed in. So, anyways,
Professor
yes.
Campbell.
Yes,
I would
What?
like to discuss this for a moment, if we could. Now, I
Well-
go away for a few days.
A few days.
I
yes.
come back,
Yes.
and there is this magical
Well,
device
yes.
on the
Remember,
table here. What is the what is it, and what is the story behind it?
Well, remember Ahmed?
I do remember.
He graduated. He is off to
Yes.
ASU to do a PhD, possibly. And as going away present, he we had a Middle Eastern coffee. And it was quite interesting. A little
And so
cups.
this is a
Yeah.
coffee pot.
Well, it's like a little coffee pot,
mini-
but he
a
brought a
micro
regular
coffee
coffee cup. And Middle Eastern coffee is different, and it was very good, very, very good, very good.
That's a
And-
beautiful segue into
Yes.
the first
Yes.
segment. Now, is it possible? I feel like I might be putting you on the spot slightly here because you've
What?
been juggling many things.
Well, that's okay. I've got PAs. I got people that can. that
Okay,
can
good.
help
We've
out.
got that covered.
Yeah, back
Could you
up.
please? Could somebody please switch to my monitor, my screen?
monitor.
Because I have a
9
slide
people watching.
here.
Oh my gosh!
We're gonna just like
my
lose it
gosh.
when it goes to double digits.
Maybe we can get.
I'm
double
glad
digits.
I'm gonna go
Doubles-
in the lab and just log
The
on
what?
to
Fire
the
extinguishers.
computers.
Log onto the computer. Well, we have enough
The lab.
computers in here. There's like friggin' 5 million computers in this studio.
All right, so the screen.
Oh, the
Can we get
screen.
to the screen.
Okay, the
Oh,
screen.
there we go.
There we are.
So,
Screen.
in case you doubted that we were live, there
Oh.
you have it. It is May 16th.
May
Wednesday.
16th, Wednesday.
And it is our first episode
Okay.
here. Now, I wanted to mention, we've been taking a close look at I would call it a vibrant and dynamic discussion.
So gotta go back to you now?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
we wouldn't
All
do
right.
that. Not yet.
Oh, because we're gonna do the. Oh, interesting. Lisa says the Mary Tyler Moore opening, which is not
Okay, hold on.
correct.
Come back to me for a second. We
Okay,
need to address
fine.
this.
Yes,
That's a good guess.
that's yeah.
However, no,
not quite.
It is not the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Maybe should we give maybe like some help? Maybe
Like
like
a
a
little
hint,
hint?
like a 80s,
Clue.
80s,
Ooh,
80s.
I would say
80s
early
show.
90s.
Oh,
honestly.
you're right, 90s,
Early
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps the first season of this show might have been in 1989, but I really feel like it was in the early 90s. It definitely ended in the early 90s.
Although the Mary Tyler Moore, that was in the 70s, right? Or was that the
that
80s?
was in the 70s.
Okay.
I want to say 70s. Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, Lisa, for chiming in.
That was a
That
gallant effort.
Gallant, yes, indeed.
Although it will not produce a prize.
No, it will not produce a
So
prize.
if we could come back to the screen now.
Oh, okay.
And
All right.
I'm going to.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah, we've had a very dynamic discussion underway. In our first
Jasmine is chatted. You know,
I beg your pardon?
Jasmine has chatted. We need a PA to maybe look at the chats or something like that.
Well, you're doing such
You're
a good
doing
job.
such
Do we
an
really?
excellent
Such
job.
an excellent job.
You're right on top of it. So
guess
just
so.
has Jasmine weighed in with a thought?
She's a 95 baby over here. 95. So I guess
I think she was commenting on the year, possibly.
the year? No. She says 95 baby over here, which I assume that she was from the 90s.
born in 95?
Born in 95, I assume.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
guess so.
So this show would be may have predated some of our students.
Yes.
So there you go. But that's not to say that there are not ways of figuring this out.
Yes.
You are free to look this up online. There are
Yes.
clues embedded here and there.
Okay. Well.
All right.
All right. So we have dogs and cats on this. Why do we have dogs and cats on the
We've
screen?
learned a lot about our students in the course of reading through the first discussion topic,
Yes.
which
Yes. Very,
was
very
a very
interesting.
deep and meaningful
Very-
discussion,
yes,
I thought.
yes.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah, no.
we were
I've been reading
discussing
over
some
them.
profound
Yeah,
matters.
uh-huh.
We have printouts, yes. we were
Printouts, yes,
pouring
indeed.
over these
Pouring them
responses.
over.
Talking
Okay.
about our passions and the things that we love most in life, we really kind of went straight for the heart of the matter here.
There's a dog and cat because
Well, so one of the things we learned amongst this particular cohort is by a landslide, it wasn't even close. People really prefer
Dogs.
dogs
yes.
to cats.
Isn't that cute? I know, isn't that cute?
That is
yeah.
a cute dog.
Yeah.
Precious.
Yeah, very cute dog, little collie or border collie.
Little border
I think.
collie,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Now, some people, there were specific dogs in their lives,
Uh-huh.
a German Shepherd, whose name I apologize, I cannot remember offhand, but it was a German Shepherd.
So you're a dog or cat?
Oh, definitely dogs.
Dogs,
I love my
definitely
babies.
Jenna is a dog
Two.
person.
Two dogs.
Two. Oh yeah. Have I seen the dogs in the photos? No, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
they're little
going to bring
puppies.
them, and then you said you were no longer
Oh,
allowed.
yeah. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. I
And of course,
you remember.
Melinda, the Rambit.
What?
Rambit? Is it
Rambet, yes.
Rambet.
That my dog,
Rambet.
yes. The dog that my mother has. Yes, very cute dog. She originally was named Rambo, but then I said Rambet. Just as whatever. Anyways,
No,
so the next one.
sports. So we've also learned that between baseball and basketball, again, it wasn't even close.
Yes. Baseball is
everybody-
always popular, though.
Sports
It's American pastime.
and baseball.
It's an
It is the
American
American pastime.
pastime.
And, you know, spring training is down here. Maybe
Well,
that's
but-
It's true. Here in Arizona.
here in Arizona, yeah.
football's. I mean, it's interesting because, it seems like there's always lots of people in the journalism department that are into sports, and actually, I think Jenna, you'd be one of them.
Amongst
yes,
our
indeed.
faculty as well, I would say baseball
Yes.
is by far the most popular.
By far the most popular. Yep. Dogs. So Corey, Cole, dogs. If I had more free time, cats are just so much easier when you're busy. That's a very good point.
Well, that is a good
That's
point,
true.
yes.
That's a very, very good point.
And I do feel like cats get a little bit of a
Yes.
bad rap.
Because cats can kind of take care of themselves. for
They
the
can.
most part.
Yes, very
Dogs can be very needy sometimes,
Sometimes that
but
is
they're
the case.
social. They're pack animals, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get,
So
they
now
get a
what's
little
this
nervous
coffee
when
and
they're
tea?
away from the pack. Yeah. So again, you would think there'd be plenty of tea
Oh,
drinks.
and by the way, there may be
2018.
we may have a visitor at some point. We were trying out for PAs.
You mean another visitor?
Yeah, another visitor from.
Wait, there's a tryout.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I thought we
yes.
weren't
So-
going to schedule that during the episode, though. During
Well,
the show, I mean.
What, during the show? We were. We
I
weren't.
thought you were going to take care of that earlier. You're
Yeah.
saying that-
Yeah. Well, yes. No, you're right. I
Taking
did.
care of business, Chris.
But I was taking care of business. I've been. Now, but this person was a little. Now, this person was a little aggressive. So I'm tried.
little
I tried to
aggressive?
be like, look. We're, so we'll
You
have
mean-
hopefully.
Is it going to be dangerous?
They were insistent on doing it while we were trying to.
I
broadcast.
hope
All
not.
right,
Hopefully
well,
not. Hopefully not.
But if somebody comes a knocking, we'll.
Yes. Yes.
Naughty.
Don't be
Someone's
surprised.
knocking, then Jenna
Stranger
will
danger.
be able to. Stranger danger. Someone will be able
I'm
to.
feeling a
get
little
in here.
nervous here, but all right. I
So
will
coffee.
trust your judgment that
Yes,
you will not
yes,
allow anyone hostile into the studio.
No one hostile into the studio.
Okay, so again, by a landslide, everybody's talking about coffee.
Coffee, yes, lots of people. Yep,
And
yep.
I get no problem with
Yeah.
coffee. I just thought, I
Yeah.
mean, today, for example,
And that's a
I
good
had-
topic.
I'm sorry?
That's a good blog topic
It
too.
is.
I have to
It
admit,
is.
because there's
It's
lots
part
of
of the
people.
fabric of our
Yeah,
lives.
Yeah. And there's so many coffee shops around. So
Yep. But you know what was most surprising to me?
what?
Nobody.
I know.
In
yes.
the entire, several people talked about Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Nobody talked
Yeah.
about Sonny and Cher. And I really found that.
Yeah. Well.
Shocking.
Yeah. I mean that. Well. Yeah. I mean, not many people. Is Cher still alive?
She's still performing.
She's still performing.
I think doesn't she have a
Wow.
Las Vegas?
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Didn't she take Britney's?
Britney Spears? What?
I don't know.
Now is Sonny still? Is he still alive?
No,
No.
no. There was a accident a few years ago.
Oh,
Too soon, Chris. Too soon.
too soon. I guess.
now I just
sorry,
noticed
did
there
not
is a
mean-
little bit of photobombing happening in this particular
Wait, what?
Whoa.
picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
even
Look at
notice
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. So, let's,
back to you now?
Back to me. Oh, okay. So,
There you go.
so yeah, we learned all kinds of things about our cohort. Now, if you happen to be a cat, tea, basketball, Sonny and Cher kind of person, I want you to know we respect you. There is a place for you in the class. Don't feel like
Yes,
just
yes.
because you're not part of the majority that
Right.
your
Yeah,
your
it's
place
okay
doesn't
to
count.
like other things.
It is absolutely okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely
yes.
okay. Now, it is interesting though to think about what's popular and what people who go online and browse the web are interested in reading. That could inform some of our work here. And by
Yeah.
the way, we're talking.
So we're still at 8 people. This is good.
So, were we at 9?
Yes.
We lost a person.
Someone
already?
already.
This is a little upsetting.
My.
Well, but then again, if we hit 10 people today, where do you go from there, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's best that we don't hit that milestone just yet. We do have
Yeah.
5 more weeks to
Yeah.
get through after.
Yes.
All right, so we won't worry about that too much. But we're really trying to focus this first show on thinking about our blog topics, picking the right topic for our blog. That's the theme of the week as well. And we like to really spend some time with it because it's a decisive choice. It's the kind of thing that really
Well, yeah.
sets you on a certain path in life.
Yeah. Because
And
you're
in
going
this
to
case,
be
for the next 6 weeks, you're going to
blogging
be
about it, yeah.
really thinking
Yeah,
about this topic
yeah,
a lot. So you
exactly.
want to make sure you
that you
not
like
only
it.
make the right choice, but frame it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, part of that is thinking about, well, what is popular? What are people interested in? So if we could do that whole
The what?
switching thing here,
The switchy thing?
I feel like I should do something like that and then
Okay,
switch.
there you go. All
So
right.
here's a little data. I'm sure that these numbers are in flux, but at some point
Yeah.
in the not too distant past, somebody sat down and said, well, how many times are people Googling these different kinds of blog topics? And fashion, food, travel, beauty, and music came out on top of this particular search. And if I asked, what do people blog about? These are definitely popular topics.
Well, and I would agree. Actually, many people, food is always a popular blog topic. And in our department, there's many food bloggers.
There are.
Well, with Dr. Janet Keeler,
Travel.
travel. Yeah, travel is very, very popular.
Now, I don't know if this is, speaks to the fact that this is a journalism department, but I can't help but note, I don't think there were any fashion blogs that were...
You mean in the this class? No.
this class, yes.
No, I did not see any fashion blogs.
We might have
traveling. There's some traveling blogs.
many travel
Traveling
blogs.
blogs.
Yeah. And beauty / health and personal...
There's nutrition. There's someone interested in nutrition.
Yep. And music. Several people
Yes,
talked
music,
about, I
yep.
think, some very interesting ideas around music blogs.
Yes. Okay.
So one of the ideas that we talk about often in terms of really
So,
thinking about
switch
your
back
blog
to you.
topic.
Can I switch? They probably
Let's see.
this.
Yes, I think it is time.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talk about often is the importance of getting focused and getting specific. So if I were to say to you,
Yes.
Professor Campbell,
Yes.
I've been
Yes.
thinking about it, and I would really like to start a fashion blog.
No, well,
What would you
and there
say?
were some movie blogs too. Some people had some interesting movie
All right.
blogs.
Well, that's another
And there were
example.
some. So that's in journalism movie blogs.
Yep.
Someone had some interesting ideas about that.
But back to my idea.
What, fashion?
I want to
Yeah,
start
what
a
would you do,
fashion
Casey?
blog.
Huh? Yes.
What do you think?
What would I do?
Well, what advice would you? What would you say to me?
Or if you were doing if you wanted to have a fashion blog.
Or what if I said, I'd like to blog about sports?
Okay. Well, okay. Now I not know much about baseball, so if there's anyone, if you can, Jenna, you can always chime in if you wanted to have some
What I'm
thoughts
saying
about
is,
baseball.
or let's say I wanted to blog about, food.
Food. Yes. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would
What
you say?
types?
Someone got it. Misty.
Oh,
Perfect Strangers.
oh my goodness, Misty.
Misty, way to go.
Well
Good
done.
job. Perfect Strangers. Yes.
That is very well done. A note is being taken right now.
Note is being taken right now.
Applause.
Yes.
And so Misty,
Misty has got
there is
the
a prize
A prize. Yes.
that will be. I think what we'll do is we will. We'll get the prize and we will deliver it to you. in some
Yes,
form or
because
We're very prepared.
We're very
We'll make sure
prepared
that happens.
all the time. All the time.
Uber Eats.
With Balky. Yes,
Not a bad
yes,
idea.
with Balky. Yes.
Did I do good
yes.
first?
Misty says with Balky. What?
With Belky, yes, Larry and Belky.
Larry and
yes.
Balky. Now, the question is, who is Larry and who is Balky? Are you Larry? Are you Balky? Or
Well,
am I Larry?
that is a question. Yes,
Oh boy.
I know it's tough.
I'm not sure. I'm ready to have that conversation right now.
Next time.
Next time.
That could
Too soon.
That could
Too
be a
soon.
decisive,
Yes.
not a decisive, but a divisive.
Divisive. Yes.
Topic.
So anyway, so what was okay?
So what I'm saying is, if I'm like, I want to do a sports blog or a fashion blog or a movie
yes,
blog,
Yes.
what counsel might you have?
Well, I would probably say, okay, that's an awfully sports. Well, movies. That's an awfully large topic.
yeah, it is pretty large. It's like it's
What-
so expansive.
I mean, what?
Or
what would you?
I
would say
think-
what?
I think what he's trying to say is what he would discuss amongst those topics.
Like for sports, would it be controversial things going on in sports? Like I think Casey wants you to narrow it down.
Well, right, narrowing the topic down.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I'd say, well, what kind of movies?
I think we need to go to movies.
I don't know anything
Movies or
about
coffee?
sports.
I want to talk about
I don't know.
movies.
I don't know anything about baseball. I know a little. I know about the basics of football because I played football.
All right, well, let's just stick with movies. I'm willing to go there.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to blog about horror movies.
Horror movies. Okay. All right. What exactly? What is it about horror movies that you would like to talk about? Because again, horror movies is I mean, even. Do you want to talk about the style of horror movies, the type of horror movies?
I think I would like to focus on directorial techniques.
Directorial techniques.
in
Okay,
horror
so
movies.
comparing, just talking about different techniques that different directors use within horror movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then I would probably say, well, what is it? What is it about your blog? I mean, why is your blog special? I mean, why would I want to go to your blog if I was even into horror movies?
Well, that's a good question. You mean what separates my blog from all the
Yes.
rest?
What separates your blog from all the others?
Well, as it turns out, I have a little horror movie directing experience, and so I'll
You
be
do?
incorporating my personal experiences
Okay.
into the blog.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Kind of a behind-the-scenes peek at
Yes. Yes.
process, if you
Yes. 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 Okay. Well, I think that's good. I think making it personal, but not necessarily maybe too personal.
will. Not too personal.
Is that true?
It is not.
What?
No.
It is not true. But for instructional purposes, small lies are sometimes told. But I think that this is about right in terms of the level of focus that we want to try to. So
Right.
if you're thinking, I want to be blogging about movies, well, no, we want to get much more specific.
So, again, there's that interesting movie blog where the person takes a still of every frame
Yeah.
and it's created kind of like an interesting database based on a visual database.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Now that's interesting. That is it a blog? Yeah, it's a blog. It's also a database. It's
well,
a
no. Well, it's
website.
not a true. I mean, it's a blog. It's not a database like some more academic databases.
Yeah.
Along that field.
And what is a blog? I mean, it's
Well-
a fair question.
Yes. Well,
Let's take a look at the most.
the most.
This list is a little out of date, and at least one of these sites is
Okay.
due to a
so-
$31 million
There you go.
settlement is no longer operational. But let's say in the past 10 years, in the past decade, I would say these are the most popular blogs.
What is Boing Boing?
Boing Boing? you just wanted me to say Boing Boing. Yeah, it's a culture blog. It's a blog
Is it
about
still around?
literature and pop culture
Is it
and
still around?
technology.
Oh,
Boing Boing, I'm sure you've been to Boing Boing.
do you know about Boing Boing?
I'm afraid to say I do not.
Oh my.
Have to
okay.
do some research.
All right.
Well, HuffPost, we've all been to Huffington
Yes.
Post.
Yes. I think. I think everyone knows about that. TMZ is pretty popular.
TMZ, kind of
Yeah,
an entertainment thing. BI, your Business Insider
yeah,
blog.
yeah.
And then we've got these tech blogs like Mashable and Engadget and TechCrunch. And kind of
and Perez
celebrity
Hilton,
slash
Celebrity
news
blog,
blogs
yes.
like
Uh-huh.
Gawker. That's the one that's
Yeah.
no longer with us.
Oh. And
Perez
Engadget.
Hilton's kind of like a TMZ,
Yeah.
celebrity gossip blog. Daily Beast increasingly is doing some actually really impressive.
And what do they
and
do? What do
in-depth
they talk about?
journalism.
What do they talk about?
All kinds of things, but they've become very journalistic in their approach, very
Mm-hmm.
news-driven, much like Huffington Post is. But Daily Beast does a lot of in-depth original reporting now.
So then, should people be trying to make blogs that are that everyone that are popular?
No, I'm so glad you asked.
Mm-hmm.
These are technically blogs, but they're not the kind of blogs that we're talking about in this class because every
All right, switch
single...
back to you.
You did. You didn't even tell me you were going to do it.
I know it's off. Yeah.
Sneaky producer, you. These blogs are they're kind of blogs. You know, we have the book. I forgot to bring it in with me today. And Jen, I don't know if you've had a chance to start perusing the Trust Me, I'm Lying book, Ryan Holiday. And it's kind of interesting because when he talks about blogs, he's basically talking about websites. Any website in his definition that's publishing content is a blog. So that's a very broad way of looking at it. And by that definition, all of these sites are blogs. And they're also blogs in the sense that they are publishing content in reverse chronological order. So the most recent thing shows up at the top, and then as you scroll down, you get more. The editorial standards tend to be a little more flexible. I think I'll use that term as opposed to lesser or looser. But many blogs are not edited by a dedicated editor or copy editor. They are simply posted. But in the case of all these blogs, you're talking about entire teams who are contributing to them. And success for these blogs is predicated on publishing not dozens, but hundreds of posts a day.
Well, okay.
In most cases. Some of these blogs publish less, but something like Mashable, they are publishing so many posts.
But are they successful because of the topic or because of the format?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. They've picked a big topic that a lot of people care about, technology. Within that topic, they have carved out all these verticals, which are specific sections about that technology.
So then it's important to, but people should ultimately probably blog about something they feel passionate about.
Well, that I think is really important.
Yes.
And there's another way of blogging, which is the kind of blogging that we're talking about, which is a more entrepreneurial kind of blogging. And it's a person, a one-person shop producing a blog. And doing so not based off of a big topic like celebrities or technology, but a fairly nuanced niche topic that's both of personal interest and also something that is interesting to some group of people out there. Doesn't have to be a whole bunch of people. We talked about in our opening video, you don't need to have all 3-something billion people connected to the internet.
But someone is
reading a
always
blog.
interested in something, even the most archaic things. I mean, it doesn't,
Yep.
you know, there's always someone else that's interested in something.
And there are really active communities online gathered around very specific topics.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
so let's go back to what we saw in our opening discussion post here and some of what we learned about our students in the course.
Go back to the screen.
We'll go back to the screen right now. And so we asked the question in our opening discussion forum, what do you love most in this world? And what are you passionate about? And this is a compilation of most. I might have missed a couple, but I think this is most of the responses. that we
In alphabetical
received.
order, too, I see.
I actually went ahead and alphabetized it.
That's nice.
Just, you know, that little extra touch. So, but Professor Campbell, let
Yes.
me ask you a question
Yes.
here. Is there a difference? I was asking myself this. Is there a difference between things that we love and things that we're passionate about?
Oh, my. That's an interesting question.
And Jenna, you're free to chime
yeah.
in here as well. As the person who was on the receiving end of this question, did you ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Or
I think things that you love are things that you have more of an emotional connection to. And I think passions are things that you actually do that bring joy to your life, I would say.
that's a great definition, I would say, and a great way to distinguish it. I would say, I think the things that we love are a little closer to us often, and the things we're passionate about have that action behind them. So these are interests that we pursue, they're communities and topics that we immerse ourselves in.
I don't know if I see a huge difference, though.
Well, I'm not sure there is.
I mean, I don't know if I see it, you know, just between love and passion.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
And there's a lot of overlap, right?
'Cause I
And
think
even
that-
topic-wise,
Yeah.
there are people who love journalism,
Yeah.
and there are people who are passionate about journalism.
I guess because my loves and passions are very similar, the same. So, but why exactly did you have people write their loves and passions?
Well, I thought it would be helpful if we do a little self-reflection to think about the things that matter the most to us, and the things that we think about often, and the things that we have learned a lot about and want to learn more about. Because all of those things are the right foundation for a blog.
So one could write a blog about either their loves or their passions.
Sure,
Uh-huh.
sure.
So,
Or the passions that they love.
oh,
Now that just takes it to a whole,
yeah, that's pretty,
whole new plane of existence.
pretty deep there.
So, and it's a little bit of a brainstorming exercise, right? Because I would say most of us have multiple passions in life, and they change over time. The things that we love also change and evolve as we grow. So this first exercise, first discussion exercise, is a kind of a brainstorming thing to begin getting ideas out there, and then thinking about which one we want to focus on. But the bottom line, I think, for all of this, if we could come back.
Oh, sorry.
All this switching back and forth, but
Well,
think,
you know, I just don't want to have it so that we don't want people looking at a PowerPoint screen all the time.
no, we don't.
Because that's boring. Then they would just like, you know, why do that?
We might actually go from 8 to 7 viewers. if we-
We haven't,
Five.
we haven't had an uptate in a while.
yeah, how are we doing
It's
on
at
the,
8. It's at 8.
steady, holding steady at 8.
8, holding it steady
How's
at
the
8.
chat?
What? The chat is still, well, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the chat
All
that
right.
actually chatted, so that's
So that's a
exciting.
pretty
Did you
high.
say there's actually chatters?
What? The chat? No.
Did I hear that right?
chatters in the chat room?
The chatting. Okay, so here you got to make it
You
personal.
got to make it personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
right.
the kind of blogging that we're going to embark on to be successful, it's got to be personal.
Because people
And-
see that.
I'm sorry?
People see that. People see that.
Yes, I do.
I mean, people.
Oh, you mean readers?
Readers, right? Readers. Well, if they don't feel your excitement, then they're gonna. Oh, maybe passion here. Oh, here Misty wrote in the chat. Maybe passion comes and goes, but things we love remain constant for longer. Interesting.
That's an interesting thought.
Interesting.
I could definitely see that.
Okay.
It's a good distinction.
Okay. Yeah. That's. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now I got to go back. I gotta go back to you.
Go back. Oh. Okay, well.
Okay. Here.
Oh,
back to
now
you.
we're back to
There
the
we are.
screen,
Back
all
to
right.
the thing.
So, now if that person you were talking about doesn't come by
Oh.
7, they know that we may not be here. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
make
yes. Yeah, I will make sure.
All right. So, what I thought we could do.
Hopefully, this person won't come.
Won't?
Well, hopefully, maybe they will, maybe they won't. but
Wait, is this
hopefully.
person in our class and hearing all this?
What?
I'm confused.
No.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that would be. This is somebody who's you're doing tryouts.
Tryouts,
So,
yes.
The production
Yeah.
assistant.
Yeah, I'm
position?
doing tryouts, right. Yeah, I was doing
Okay.
tryouts for production assistants, and then I said, look,
But you were trying to do it in the afternoon.
I was trying to do it in the afternoon.
And this person insisted on coming
person
tonight.
insisted on coming.
All right,
And so
well.
hopefully,
Be that as it may, let's switch back again.
switch back. Sorry. Okay.
So let's take a look at some of the one-liners that
Yes.
emerged from this first
And
discussion.
there were a lot of good one-liners.
I have to agree.
They were very clever. Some very, very clever. Oh,
We had some.
Jasmine, what about if our passion is something very high arching like people or kindness? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good question. All right, switch back to me.
Sorry.
We're not quite ready to delve into the one-liner because that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So then, if your passion is something big, and sometimes it is, in fact, a lot of times I would say our passions are broad. They're things like people communicating,
Yeah, yeah.
listening, sharing ideas, exploring new things, exploring new places. So there's nothing wrong with that. But as far as honing in on our blog topics, we've got to treat that as our first step. And we have to go from that big idea to something specific that's consistent with that big idea
Yes.
and reflective of that idea. So
Sorry.
that's okay. Is somebody
No. I'm just checking something.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay, sorry.
all right, let's go back to our slide.
Jenna, could you pass me that sweater over there? Sorry.
There's a couple.
Yeah, just the one. Any one of them.
So,
Okay, so-
back to the slide.
Back to the slide. Sorry. Okay, there we are.
Is this good?
That's fine. Yeah.
So here's a one-liner. How to live a balanced student life. I'm sorry. I added a word. How to live a balanced student. Let me try this one more time.
Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please.
How to live like a balanced student surrounded by fitness, dogs, and coffee. Now that's a great one-liner because everyone likes dogs. Well, most people like dogs. So Shannon wrote, I know this was mentioned, but how do you make a blog specific yet have multiple subtopics and categories? Now, maybe this one-liner is almost related to this particular question that Shannon has.
In some ways it is.
In some ways it is.
Yeah. But Shannon's question is a really great
Very
one.
good one.
And that question is something we're going to be addressing in an upcoming assignment that's happening very soon.
Oh, that's the next one?
I think it's due tomorrow.
Due tomorrow.
Is it the one due tomorrow? It's a little crazy with this 6-week summer schedule.
Yeah.
That's why I was freaking out a little bit.
But if you, in the second
You don't
book
have
that
to
we're
freak
using,
out.
How to Blog for Profit Without Selling Your Soul,
Oh.
there's some really good
Sorry.
Switching.
Switching.
there's some really good templates and some really practical outlines for brainstorming blog topics. And so we're going to delve into that very soon and kind of come up with the big idea for the blog, and then categories that we can write within, and post ideas within each one of those categories. The key to all that, though, is not just thinking about the main blog idea, but coming up with like 8 to 12 topics within that blog.
Okay.
So, but I agree. I think this first one-liner here is
What? Oh, hold on. I think.
okay. I guess after all, we.
What? Hold on a minute.
Okay.
What?
I can't help but.
Hello?
But
Hello? Yeah. What? No. Excuse me. No. Sorry. Sorry.
so
I am here to try out for the PA position. Oh, yes. Oh, excuse me. What is your name? I did not mean you cannot. We're in the middle of a show here, sir. This is. But I am here for the PA. I want to see. What is this? I want to see this thing. What is this? Oh. Excuse me. So I'm very sorry about this. What is your name, sir? My name is Pierre. Yes. I am here for. Excuse me, you can't be here, sir.
yeah,
Did you invite
What?
him? Didn't you say that?
I did not mean to. What?
can we take this outside, or?
What?
I'm sorry, sir.
Sir.
Pierre.
Yes, I am from France. I am
Okay.
here to do the thinking.
That's funny. I know another Pierre from France.
What? Yes.
We're gonna need you to come back. Maybe tomorrow we can try to do this. We're right in the middle of a live broadcast right now,
Yes. Please.
and
come back.
I don't
Please
think it's a
stop
good
bothering.
time to do a tryout. For
Fine. I will leave.
okay.
Cannot believe it.
Wow.
Wow.
That was,
I apologize.
That was very, very sorry.
So
that was awkward.
Pierre.
Yes,
That was-
Pierre. Yes. He's this guy from France that just really is just.
And he,
Sorry about that.
This is the visiting scholar, the documentary filmmaker.
Yes, the documentary filmmaker.
And he wants to try out as a
wants
production
to try out
assistant.
as a production assistant. He's kind of been a thorn in my side. I know you haven't You don't. You have
I've
yet to meet this
meet him.
individual.
I keep hearing that he
Right.
drops into your classes.
Yes,
but-
yes, and it's always a huge amount.
Well,
I think
I think
he's-
Jenna, you've experienced this person.
Oh, that poor woman out there is kind of scared.
Yeah, I know. She actually,
You were had to tell her to leave you.
actually. Oh my. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. Yes.
okay.
Okay.
So let's go back to our first one-liner here.
One liner here. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. There we are.
And I have to agree. I think that there are a lot of good things about this one-liner.
Yeah. Yes, because it is, because it incorporates things that a lot of people are really into. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone likes coffee. Well, most people like
Many
coffee.
people do.
Most people like dogs.
If that hits 2 of the 4 images from our
And
opening,
fitness. Most people most people are into fitness.
or at least aspire
So
to.
I guess Shannon's question is, so this is a blog. It has multiple subtopics and categories. So how would you combine them
Now,
to make it interesting?
yeah, without becoming too spread out, right?
Right.
Because sometimes people say, well, I want to blog about music and food.
Right.
But then when you explore what they're thinking, it turns out there are going to be some things about music, there are going to be some things about food. It's okay to have a couple of different angles, but we really need to figure out how to integrate them together.
Well, like, for example, there are cat coffee shops. Have you heard about this? Cat coffee shops.
I only know about.
I've heard about goat yoga, but not cat coffee shops.
No, there's actually
There's-
coffee shops where there's cats walking around.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of like dog bars.
Dog
too.
bars. Yeah, dog bars. There you go. There's one on Central Avenue.
Okay.
So that's incorporating dogs
Yeah.
and coffee.
And
Or
that
in
would
this
suggest
case.
there's a way to write posts that fuse these topics together so that it makes sense and it's all part of the same concept. Because if we're writing about too many different things in a disjointed way, it's going to be a lot harder to build up an audience around that topic because the people who care about one thing maybe don't care about the other thing.
Yes,
so
Misty says yes in Asia. So that's interesting. Misty, have you ever been to one of these coffee shops coffee? That'd be interesting. I think in Korea maybe or something like that. I think I read somewhere.
What do you mean?
The coffee cat and coffee.
Oh,
Yes. I did not mean to. Corey Cole. Food and travel goes hand in hand very well.
Corey.
That's a good
Corey,
point.
yes.
Yeah, that's another really natural
Corey Cole.
fit. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Now, the other thing I like about this particular one-liner
Oh.
is there is a value proposition built into it.
Value
And by that-
proposition.
A value proposition. And this is something I really hope everybody thinks about for their own blog concepts and their own one-liners. This is so important. You need to be able to communicate in one line what value you're going to give people who read your blog. This has got to enhance my life in some way. I need to learn something. I need to figure out how to do something. I need to gain some insight. I need to be entertained.
Right.
I got to get something out of the experience.
In the words of Russell Crowe, are you not yet entertained? Are you not entertained?
What movie is that from?
Oh my gosh, that's a Gladiator.
Oh, that's Gladiator. I've
Gladiator.
actually seen that movie, and I
Yes.
well,
It's one of the.
a few years
So supposedly they dress these cats up on TV. Actually, that's what Misty says.
on TV.
Yes, they dress them up they dress up. No, she's seen her on TV, but they dress up the cats
Oh, okay.
in little clothes, I guess.
Oh,
So there's also a fashion component.
I guess. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
hashtag fashion.
So as long as there's some kind of connection or a value proposition, that makes sense, because people are ultimately like, well, what is it gonna? What are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
What you got for
yeah.
me?
Yeah.
So-
Exactly.
How to is a great construct. And that's great not just for our blog premise, but for a specific blog post that we might write. How to do something, all right, if I'm interested in the topic, maybe I want to learn that. Maybe that's a skill that I want to figure out. And living a balanced life is something that we all care about, right? I mean, we've got so much going on.
Yes, but has anyone ever do any of us live balanced lives?
Well, according to our first discussion topic, a large number of students in this class have cracked that code.
oh, yes.
I was a little surprised, but there are many
Yes.
who feel that they have figured out how to keep a lot of things spinning at the same time. And I think that's great. So the other thing we talked about in the first discussion post is, what are you good at? What's your skill? What do people say? Hey, can I get your advice on this?
Now, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you have to can you write a blog? Can you blog about something you may not that you're passionate about, but you may not necessarily be good at?
That's a great question. And I think it is possible, but perhaps a little bit harder. And I think you really have to be willing to learn as you go. But I think it's always great if whatever you're blogging or writing about is something that you want to learn more about, even if you're already steeped in knowledge, even if you're already up to date on everything. If you continue to want to learn, that's a great sign that you've picked a good topic to blog about, because as you learn and incorporate that knowledge into your writing, your readers are going to benefit as well.
Because there's lots of camera blogs that are like that, where they're like learning.
Yeah.
They try new cameras, they experiment, and they're very open about, look, this is I'm learning. I'm learning this stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And so many fields are also changing so quickly. You got to, there's always a new piece of equipment out, it needs to be tested. New techniques are being tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you can definitely blog about something you have less knowledge of, but when you come from a place of at least intense interest, but especially expertise, you've got something right off the bat that other people can benefit from. And tapping into that expertise, tapping into that knowledge is a great way to immediately inject your blog with something really good that people are going to care about.
That's
All
true.
right? Now, don't switch
No.
just yet, because
No.
I'm going to do a little shuffling here.
A little shuffling.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's take a quick look at this one. So, somebody, for their one-liner, they basically had traveling
Traveling.
as the option. Now, I think at this point, we can all see ways of improving
Okay.
this.
So I think I'm going to cut back to you because I think they probably have seen traveling.
They've probably read that entire
They
slide
probably read that
already.
entire slide already.
What do you think we have? A bunch of speed readers? So yeah, traveling, that's a little too broad. Needs to be fleshed out. What's the value proposition? How is this going to be different from the millions of other travel blogs that are out there?
Well, where do you want to travel to? What part of the world? What aspects?
What aspects of travel, yeah. A really popular way of focusing a blog is to bring in a budgetary component. So, money. There are certain things that are universal.
So one person incorporates traveling and their dog. Reading the topics here.
Well, there you go. So, money, dogs. Add that to any
Special
blog
about traveling
topic
and
you're good to go.
my dogs. So there you go. Yes.
But
okay. Now this is-
being healthy on a budget, traveling on a budget, collecting music on a budget, there are so many ways that you could take a topic and then put it into
Yes.
a really practical sphere by tying it back to budget.
so can I go to the next one?
Hold on. Okay, yes.
Because this is quite.
This is an interesting.
This is an interesting one.
You perhaps will have a few comments on
Yes,
this one.
yes, I do indeed.
All right, so I'll read this one,
Yes.
and then you'll react.
Okay. All right.
Oh boy. An avid fan's collection of hidden and probably far-fetched.
I think Jenna's liking her microphone.
That microphone, yes. Which
Okay,
I just
I'm sorry.
noticed is affixed with a Joby tripod.
It's a very interesting.
Well, you got to make do. You got to figure things out.
I
Sometimes.
ain't complaining.
So, anyways, I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt, Casey. What were you as you were reading it?
Well, I finished my reading, and now I'm tossing it over to you.
An Avid's fan collection of hidden and probably far-fetched film
You didn't need
theories.
to read it again.
I'm just gonna. Okay. Now this is the value proposition. This is an interesting. Now, now obviously I'm much interested in films and movies. So for me, this is something that I was drawn to.
Yeah. So as an aficionado,
And as efficient, yes.
you feel an
Yes.
instant connection to this topic.
Yes, exactly. And far-fetched, and actually there's a lot of blogs about far-fetched film theories on YouTube. There's tons of them, actually. So it's a very a popular topic, actually. So for example, the new Avengers movie. Right?
Yeah.
There's all these theories going on, like what's going to happen with the fourth one. So if anyone's seen, it's very, very good, by the way, the new Avengers Infinity War. This is going to be me getting all nerdy. Quite good. I won't give it away, but it's very, very, very well done.
Hashtag ad.
So what?
I said hashtag ad.
Yeah, hashtag ad? Mm-hmm. Ad. Well, anyway. So, but there's all these theories about what's going to happen with the next one. You know, who's going to defeat Thanos and all these other kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
Let me ask you a question, though, as a,
Yes.
as a point of, are we at the right level of focus?
well, okay, so that's a good point. So then, what genre?
Well, exactly. That's
So, for example, the a lot of these fan theories now are usually about one specific genre. So,
or perhaps
science
even-
fiction, or even more specific, like the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
or the DC universe,
Yeah.
or horror films.
Yeah, or even getting like classic horror films
Yes,
versus contemporary.
Or even one director.
Yeah.
So, like Stanley Kubrick, there's all kinds of film theories, far-fetched film theories about Stanley Kubrick.
yeah.
The meaning behind his movies, what's in his movies, what happened, all these other kind of things.
And connecting these ideas together, we're talking about having a passion or love for what we're writing about, and also being focused. And the passion is what gets you through it in the end, right? Because
right.
if you're going to get so specific that you're writing just about Stanley Kubrick films,
Right.
if you don't really love Stanley Kubrick as a director,
Right.
that's going to become tedious after a while.
Well, you mean for the viewer or for the person writing the
Well,
blogs?
for the person writing it, I would assume for the viewer or the reader, if you're into that, you're into it, and you want something really good and interesting, maybe fresh angles to old ideas.
I mean, because people really get very specific, and they write these. There's hundreds and hundreds of blogs about one particular aspect of, the Marvel universe. So, I don't know.
yeah. So I think that there's something to be said for not only narrowing the focus in terms of genre,
Yeah.
but perhaps putting another qualifying aspect.
Yeah.
on it. So, for example, maybe focusing on visual aspects of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Or maybe looking at it through some other lens. Like, it could be really interesting. We were talking at our local neighborhood coffee shop.
Coffee shop, yes,
earlier
which is
today.
what people are interested in blogging about. I think that's what you're interested in, coffee. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Sports and
Have
coffee.
you decided, by the way, because you had two different competing topics?
Yes, I'm going with the first one.
What?
Interesting.
Sports?
The coffee.
The
No.
coffee.
No, and it was funny because someone did respond to my posts about that. I didn't want to do sports because I felt like it was a little too broad, and I just thought it would be more fun and visual to do something with food.
Well, there's definitely all kinds of food. This is a foodie town. There's all kinds of places to eat and places
Yeah.
to drink. And
I'm always hungry, so.
yeah, well, we all need to eat. Yes.
The need for food.
The need for food is strong.
As
So,
warm-blooded mammals, it's just...
so I don't know if there's really that's an interesting question. How specific is too specific?
I think it's hard to be too specific, actually.
Right.
And I think we need to think about specificity in different ways. And a big part of that is the specific audience that we're hoping to appeal to. And accompanying that, the style that we're going to write in, the voice that we're going to use. That's another way of narrowing the focus. A blog that's written in a very scholarly, academic style is going to appeal to a certain audience and be very different than one that's very informal, conversational, and written for maybe more of a casual
Right.
kind of fan base
Right.
audience.
Well, yes, it is. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say something like
I was
so profound just now.
had a little bit of a blank there. So we've got 5 minutes.
Okay. Let's take a
so-
look at one more.
One more.
One or two more, I should
Okay.
say.
So living, can I read it?
Please.
Living as a young adult easier.
All right. There are things I like about this, and there are some things that I might change up a little bit or expand on a little bit. What I like about it is I feel like there's a strong value proposition that's at least emerging. I think we all want things to be a little easier, a little smoother. I like the idea that this is not just about making life easier, because that's really broad, but we're narrowing in on a particular age group. So somebody who's maybe still establishing themselves in the world, getting that career going through college. So the young adult demographic. But I find myself wondering, so what exactly is this going to be about? How exactly are we going
Yeah.
to talk about making life easier?
Yeah, because living, that's a wide range of, is that related to finding better housing, better, better eating places, money, financial, easier,
Yeah.
spiritual, whatever. There's all these different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are, again, different ways of honing in, different ways of focusing, and these kind of categories is one way to do it. The other way is to think about scope in terms of geographic scope. A lot of blogs, and Jenna, I think yours is very much applicable in this sense, work well when you put them within a local scope. And I think that's really core to your concept. You're looking specifically at coffee shops in St. Pete.
Right.
And that's a great way to immediately hone that focus, because now you're appealing to people who live in and maybe are visiting St. Pete. And here, I think, is another opportunity perhaps to put in that geographic constraint. So this is going to be about living as a young adult in the Tampa Bay area easier. If that makes sense, if there are some specific things that you would say to that audience that maybe wouldn't apply universally.
So, Shannon in the chat room brought up a question. If we mix academic and casual tone, how do we properly cite sources, and how do we make them flow with our casual personal tone? So I guess this is probably a future. This will be discussed in the future.
It will be. We'll be
Yes.
talking about a couple aspects of this in future lessons and videos, how to link to and cite external sources,
Right.
which is highly
Right.
encouraged, how to develop that voice. Now, I do want to mention that I think it's very important to, if we're going to be mixing a scholarly and a more casual voice, to do it in a way that it really is synthesized together, and it doesn't feel like we're writing with two different voices. We definitely don't want to write a post one day in a really casual tone,
Right.
and the next day get really
There really has to be
Academic.
consistency. People,
Really has to be consistency.
we need consistency.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Consistency in all forms is so important when we're blogging.
Yes.
Consistent voice, consistent output. That is, over time, what helps us to build
Consistent
up
design,
an
consistent,
audience.
lots of things.
Yeah, consistent design, absolutely.
So we have one more up here.
Let's take a look at one more, and we will quickly be at the top of the hour here. So steps one should take to plan a trip.
Based on my past experiences. Wait, what? Am I supposed to?
Okay.
Do you want me to?
He wants you to react.
My
Let's make a
quick
react.
reaction on this one is...
oh, your reaction.
What's
Okay.
your reaction? No, what's your reaction?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. The steps were to plan a trip. Okay, that's interesting. Traveling incorporates traveling.
Okay, travel, but a specific aspect of travel.
Based on my past experiences, I think that that's popular too,
I like that.
because that's interesting.
And that speaks
a
to
lot of-
tapping into our personal expertise.
Right. I mean, I have a lot of experiences with past experiences traveling, and I think that would be, interesting.
Yeah.
Like if one were to fly Spirit Airlines, for example, which is something I did recently, then I would definitely have some steps that I would recommend or blog about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Step one.
Step one.
Fly Southwest instead.
Wow.
Fly Southwest instead. Spirit Airline, like make sure you
Oh, bring
Corey
me the
Cole.
material.
So Corey, that is his. That's his.
Corey.
Because they, so I would bring a book or bring some kind of
Yeah. Periodical of some kind.
because there's no periodicals, because there's no TV, there's no nothing, there's no on-flight reading material.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a chair.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was very boring.
So I really like that one-liner, Corey. And my one question on it, to bring it just a little bit further along, would be to what end? In other words, okay, you're going to help me to prepare for my future travels based on your experiences. I'm loving the sound of it. And what is that going to do for me? How is that going to put me in a better position? Am I going to save money? Am I going to have more adventures? Am I going to have less stress? Give me a sense again of that benefit. And if you could cut one last time
What's the end goal?
to our final thought here.
Yes.
And we've said it and we'll say it again. You gotta provide value.
Right. What you going to do for me?
What
How
you
is it
got
going to
for
help me?
Son, I need a little value.
Okay, so
Cutting back.
I'm getting a little too casual here. I think.
a little too casual.
Let me straighten out. Okay. Well, we survived the hour. We did have an intrusion, but
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
the threat was contained, I would say.
Yes.
We'll have to check on the woman sitting outside.
No,
to make
hopefully
sure
the
she's
woman
okay.
sitting outside was nice.
That you were yelling at her.
Yelling.
earlier.
I know.
I think she thought like I was in trouble.
All right, we're going to clarify that situation.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us here for our kickoff live Perfect Bloggers.
Wait. Oh, someone wrote, what is our assignment arrangement frequency like we usually do on Sunday or before class?
So that we have, what is it? An assignment a week. There's one assignment a week, and it is due the day that this week's assignment is due, which I believe is Friday.
Well,
Thursday?
well, the thing that we have a blog post due on the 20th. I think.
Yeah, there's a blog post coming up really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we actually have to create our WordPress
No,
and post it?
I'm glad you asked. That's
Because-
coming a little bit later. So for the first post, it's just a Word doc. Pop it in. It
Okay.
counts.
And then we
And
get
then
to the
later,
exciting actually
we'll add it.
WordPress
You're welcome.
next week, right?
Yeah.
Or is that talking about how the web works or
That's
something
right.
like that?
We will put, I'll send a message out though, kind of reiterating due dates on all that so that we're squared away.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to go to cut to the blue screen.
All right.
And,
Until next time.
and